The internet has made it so that even while your girl is sitting across from you, she can be crushing on another man and even talking to him. What does that mean? It means trying to keep your woman by simply being there is not enough. To keep her, you need to get her obsessed. She needs to be in constant awe of you. If she's not always thinking about you, then there is a problem. So look, the desire that your woman should be obsessed with you is not a want, it is a need. Make a killer first impression. First impressions matter 1000%. And when it comes to meeting women, trust me, we all judge the book by its cover, so be careful here. Your body language and overall look in those initial moments are key. So make yourself better. Stand tall. Be confident. Walk in the room like you're on a date with destiny. And don't forget that smile. It's a universal language and it makes you more approachable. But then you have to tread carefully when it comes to confidence. What you need is not arrogance, but confidence. You see, confident people are just magnetic, drawing people into themselves. The key here is being yourself at its finest level, so let your confidence stem from self-assurance rather than a desire to overshadow others. Disappear for a while. So this is where the game begins, and here's where you have to play your cards right. Now imagine a child who gets to play with a toy for years. Often the baby enjoys playing with the toy up to a certain point. When the toy starts to become boring, they drop it. Soon, if daddy comes home with a new toy, that new toy becomes the favorite. That is human nature. You become boring by simply being too available. Constantly being present without moments of absence will make you lose the special quality that attracted her in the first place. So what do? You take calculated off time from the relationship. You can go on a vacation alone or simply just find excuses to avoid seeing her for like a week or so. This gives her time to reflect on the value that you being there brings, and plus it creates a void that can only be filled by you. Create an air of mystery. I know this probably sounds like some devious strategy, but you gotta understand that mystery is very important to keep your relationship interesting. Obviously, no one wants a boring relationship, but that's what happens when you become completely predictable. With your first impression, you captivate by being unpredictable. So how do you do that? First of all, you need to be careful not to become an open book too soon. Now, let's say she's known you as a real estate agent, but you also have a passion for photography. Don't immediately tell her. You can drop hints, but don't just say, "Yeah, I'm actually in photography." Keep it all under wraps until presumably when you guys go on a vacation together, and then you can suddenly switch from real estate man to photographer. Resist the urge to show her everything about your life in the first few weeks. Instead, let your life unfold naturally, chapter by chapter before her. Know this, human psychology is wired to appreciate the value of things not fully known. So by subconsciously withholding certain details, you increase your value in her eyes when you later reveal them. Create competition in her mind. There is something called social market value, and it basically means that girls value you more when they can see that other girls want you. In the popular book 48 Laws of Power, the third law is conceal your intentions, and the story there involves a woman named Ninon Lenclos. She was helping a prince attract a girl, and there was one time she told the prince to let the girl see him around other women. Why? It starts a competition, and girls, you better believe it, girls love to chase. You see, when a woman senses that other women are interested in her man, it immediately heightens your value and makes you even more desirable. It also triggers her in a way that makes you more appealing. The simple idea is, if women want you, then you're special and you're worth fighting for. Plus, she would like to be the winner of that competition. And when you do this correctly, just the thought that she could potentially lose you to another woman fuels a heightened focus on you. This focus makes her obsess over you. So does this mean that you should start introducing several women to her as your new girlfriends? Of course not. Of course not. Just compliment other girls from your workplace and basically let her see you having a good time while with other girls. Now that we're halfway through the video, why don't you hit that subscribe button to support the channel? Maybe do the same for the like button if you're enjoying the video. All done? Let's get back to the list. Establish yourself as high value. Now listen, there is no doubt that you can attract girls with flashy displays of your sports cars, Rolex watches, and expensive suits. That can work. Up to a certain point. After that point, the real things become important and the material things fade. And then she starts looking outside again for someone who has more than just cars and watches. So if you really want to keep a woman, you need to establish yourself as a high-value man. So how do you do that? Take Steve Jobs, the mind behind Apple, for example. Jobs didn't just flaunt his wealth. He created a vision and constantly shared his aspirations and plans. That's what you need to keep her obsessed. But how do you implement this business strategy in your relationship? Tell her where you're headed with your life and show her progress. For example, you can set a goal to gain a promotion in your work before the end of a particular year. Let her know that when you achieve it, you got it. And then you want to celebrate it and let her know your next target. This way, it feels like you're taking her on a journey to success, and who doesn't like a good journey? 6. Be inattentive sometimes. When I was a noob, I once dated a girl and I liked her a lot. I would always call her and take her out 4 times a week. First off, taking a girl out 4 times a week shows the girl that you don't have anything going on for you. Anyway, she soon started avoiding me until she finally sent me that message. It was over and I caused it. So ever since then, I learned that too much attentiveness to a woman is bad. Yeah, giving your girlfriend attention is crucial, but when you do it too much and sacrifice your own pursuits and identity, you lost her. Many men fall into the trap of becoming overly available. They bend over backwards to fulfill every whim. Trust me, that does not end very well. Sometimes you need to not be there for her. Yeah, you want to be there for her when she's sick and she can't help herself and when she really needs somebody. But beyond that, introduce a little bit of break, a little variety, be a little bit scarce. After all, she needs to know and see that you have a life. You got things going for you. You need to show her that you are building something great for the future and you can't always be there for her. You can't always reply to her texts and take her out. There may have to be times when you can't make it and then you guys have to reschedule, and if you don't do this, you risk becoming a doormat. The sexy stare. You can ask any woman and she will tell you that there is something about a man who knows how to hold a sexy stare. It's going to make her feel like she is the sole focus in a world full of distractions. Mastering this art not only shows confidence, but it also keeps your girl intrigued. So let's say you've been avoiding her calls for a while and you just went on a week's vacation and she hasn't seen you in a while. Well, when you finally come around, you have to give her all the attention by staring into those beautiful eyes. You want to return to her with good tidings, like a Viking who sailed the seas in search of treasure and returned to his family with gold and precious stones, and more importantly, stories. You see, in your absence, you've created a void, and now that you're back, you should fill that void, and a subtle way to do it is through a sexy stare. While she's telling you about her office life, just suddenly plug in that sexy stare with a little smile. If you do it right, you might just blow her mind and keep her obsessed. So, you've got this fantastic girl and it seems the feeling is mutual. But just when everything seemed perfect, you saw it. You've got competition, and worse, that guy is actually stealing the spotlight from you. Dude is upping his game, and you've noticed she's giving him a bit more attention. You're starting to feel like a loser, even though the game is still on. So how do you win? How do you rekindle her focus on you, thereby stealing the competition's thunder? Well, that's why we're here today, and we're going to be showing you what to do to make her want you even more than any other guy. Be in control. Yeah. I know, it probably sounds weird that being in control is the first thing to do to make her choose you over the other guy, but just listen. Understanding what makes women tick isn't about following the script Hollywood laid out for us. Contrary to the romantic movies that showcase nice guys making grand gestures to win a girl's heart, the reality is quite different. The truth is, attraction does not stem from overt displays of affection. It's actually rooted in nature. The fact is, a woman wants a man, and a real man is not someone that begs and kneels every time. A real man has control. She's not going to want you because you're always buzzing her phone begging to take her out. That's what a baby does. You need to keep things that make you look weak under wraps. You need to be able to maintain positive emotions regardless of what's happening in your romantic life. You need to keep investing in yourself rather than fixating on getting girls. Yes, you need to let your qualities speak for you. So, one way to stand out and make her choose you over the competition is this. Be your finest self. Don't be desperate and continue to grow. Chill. Don't go begging her not to choose the other guy. Rather, show her that you've got your life sorted and on a fast track to success, and if she wants to be a part of that, she needs to come correct. But what do I mean by she needs to come correct? Well, that leads us to the next step. Give her a chance to chase. You ever heard of the saying that women love the chase? Well, it's not just a saying, it's a game changer when it comes to the dating game. You see, the girl that you want secretly wants to be the one putting in the effort to win you over. Alright, maybe not exactly you, but a worthy man. So, the magic lies in making yourself the prize, the coveted treasure that she works hard to attain. So, how can you do this? Be the high-value man who doesn't rush into commitment with anybody. Let her have her space, but even then, don't hide your intentions. Don't act like it's cool for her to leave you and go to him in public. You must understand that when she does things like this, she is testing you, and if you fail that test, you will suffer for it. Let her know where you stand and can continue to better yourself and never take crap from her. That way, you earn more of her respect, and eventually she's going to want to boast to her friends about how she stole you from the other girls. Bring positivity and happiness. Let's say that you've been away for some time, and for some reason, you guys have not been able to hang out. Well, when you're back and ready to see her, make sure to bring nothing but goodness and positive energy. This works especially when she's going through some challenges at work or even better in her relationship. In such cases, you should use laughter as a weapon. Never underestimate the impact of a good laugh, especially for a girl facing relationship struggles. You see, your ability to make her laugh, playfully tease, and create a lighthearted atmosphere will work wonders in your favor. If you successfully do that, she starts to see you as the angel that brings her good tidings in contrast to the storm brewing at home. Now, while you guys were hanging out, try to avoid discussions about her relationships or even work if possible. Your mission is to show her a good time, and that is all you should focus on. Showcase your worth. First off, you want to be seen as a high-value man. Also, she only wants a high-value man, so why should you not walk around like one? While humility has its place, subtly showing her your value is the key to taking her away from other guys. So how do you do this? First, be mindful of your look. Keep yourself impeccably groomed and wear clothes that align with your personality. This is not only showing her that you respect her enough to dress well, but that you also take your image very seriously. Also, don't shy away from displaying financial stability, but do so with finesse. One way that I do this is by bringing a generous gift for her or some relative. The trick is to avoid going overboard, ensuring your wealth complements your personality rather than overshadowing it. Also, let your status subtly shine through with the way that you talk and act. For instance, rather than telling her that you are successful at what you do, tell her stories of your experience dealing with big names and companies. The goal is to show who you are without coming off as a show-off. Now that we're halfway through the video, why don't you hit that subscribe button and support to the channel. Do the same with the like button if you're enjoying the video. Alright, all done? Let's get back to the list. Lecking. Now, picture yourself at a party where you are renowned for your talents. The spotlight's on you and everyone wants a piece of you. This is what Lecking is about. Whether it's a skill, a passion, or a knack for something special, showcasing your abilities implies competence. Besides, having only one particular talent suggests to her that you're probably good in certain other areas, which only amplifies your appeal. You see, this is true of the animal kingdom, which is actually where the word lecking is originally used. So, lecking is when a male displays abilities aimed at attracting females. Birds sing to outdo one another, and rams clash horns to demonstrate physical prowess, and so on. So, what do we humans do? Well, we have fun by playing games, sports, and so on. And yes, the winner truly takes all, both the money and the affection. So do some research on how your competition is failing and get better at some of those things. Does your girl love karaoke and the other guy's a poor singer? Do some vocal training and outdo him whether he's there or not. This is another way to outdo the other guy. And trust me, when it comes to blowing a girl's mind, less is more when done right. It's not always about grand gestures like daily bouquets or overt compliments. Instead, the real magic lies in those little details the other guy, or even her, misses. Share how her dress reminds you of a particular love story writer, or tell her something interesting about earrings that she's wearing. If you notice that she often wears a particular lipstick during your dates, let her know that you noticed. And trust me, it will leave a lasting impression. Women crave the personal touch, the kind that shows you see beyond the surface. It's not just about what you say, but how keenly you observe and appreciate the finer details of who she is. This will make her more impactful if the other guy doesn't do it, and even if he does, she'll still love you for it. Yet there is nothing to a woman like pointing out a detail that she didn't even notice. Keep mystery in the air. Now, while openness is great, there is so much to be gained in the dating arena by maintaining an air of mystery. It's a bad idea to be an open book. Instead, strategically reveal layers of your personality to her in ways that build suspense and intrigue. I have a friend that is a doctor and kind of looks like a nerd, so you'd never guess that he was really into jiu-jitsu. Women always go crazy for him when they see him fight. But why? By creating a sense of mystery, you engage her curiosity. Most women love surprises, and you need to have one of them in the bag for her at intervals. Think of things about you that she wouldn't believe and slowly reveal some. Just enough to pique her interest, but not everything, so she comes wanting more. This is a tried and true method for sparking an irresistible attraction. Relationships and how they would turn out are in 3 parts: compromise, contentment, and catastrophe. Are you an alpha male who has a hard time keeping a relationship? Well, don't beat yourself up, because I'm like you. Until I came into contact with the knowledge that I will make you privy to, all of my relationships ended in its 2nd month, and on rare occasions, the 3rd month. Keeping a woman involves maintaining your relationship and keeping it healthy. These 2 factors are proportional to each other. This is a problem that even the most experienced of us alpha males encounter and sometimes falter. The trust factor. It's not a real highlight when people talk about relationships. I tell you, as a trusted friend, that trust is the foundation of all relationships, intimate or otherwise. I want you to understand that if you're going to spend just a year with this girl, you have to learn to trust her. It is both ways. But yours is most important because it is yours to give. I'm sure you've seen elderly couples in your city, and when you get the opportunity to speak to them, you'll get to understand that the only way the 2 old couples could stay together that long requires that they trust each other. Some things will never change, like it or not. And one of them is trust. I know you're afraid of coming back unannounced from work and finding some stranger on your bed getting busy with your girl. We're all afraid of that. But you'd have to trust her not to do that. I hear someone grumbling that he did what I said and she still cheated. Trust is earned, and it's not thrown to just any chick that comes by. Don't take it personally. But if you give it to her when she hasn't earned it, you'd be the one licking your wounds later. Trust her, but she has to earn the trust. And as the good book says, when the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do, right? Trust is the foundation of all relationships. If you want to keep her and maintain that relationship, you must give her your trust. If you don't trust her, I'll advise you to walk away. Be her friend. Point 2 might graze on many of you studs, but it is the truth. Too many of you prefer to be with your boys at the bar or watching a game than spending time with the girl that you love. When asking her out, you spent time with her, but after that you just stopped giving her the attention that you once gave her. Being friends requires that you give her your attention when she needs it, and sometimes even when she doesn't. It is not wrong to hang out with the boys, but when you're with her, be with her. Don't get distracted by your friends. There is so much that being friends with her translates to. You listen to her, compliment her, be a shoulder to cry on. It might be misinterpreted that if you do this, you are not man enough. How wrong those assumptions are. When the curtain is drawn and all opinions fall to the ground, it is your actions that truly matter. She's having a big event. What is a friend expected to do? Be there for her. Don't abandon her when she needs you the most because you have a game to catch. Friendship requires attention, and if you can't be her friend, then dude, you'd better make her a booty call because you can't live with someone that you're not friends with. A word is enough for the wise. I repeat, be her friend. Don't cheat. Don't wiggle your head at this point there, stud. Where I come from, dating more than one woman is greatly celebrated. You are looked upon as a legend when you can juggle 7 girls at one time and have none of them find out. Listen, by watching these videos, I know you aren't one of those losers who think they already know everything. Even if you've only watched one video on this channel, you still clicked on it, and that shows that you have a fire inside of you to start improving. You already showed the willpower. The only thing you need is a path. I've put down 10 modules which you can see as ladders. Every module or ladder will exactly explain to you step by step how to get to the top. From achieving peak masculinity, advanced testosterone optimization, getting women,
mastering the game of exchanging value to actual money-making methods, and even more. I have literally laid the groundwork for you to become jacked, attractive, rich, and of high social status. You don't lack motivation. You just lack the knowledge and trust in the path that you're taking. You can continue messing around in the never-ending cycle of taking paths that lead to nothing, or click the link in the description down below.
How childish I was. But when the veil fell from my eyes, I've never looked at things the same. When you find a good lady and you begin to spend time with her, you'll discover that she's not perfect. Isabella, you so beloved, has imperfections and pecadeos that you'll see when you get close to her, but it shouldn't prompt you to cheat on her. That's right. The only reason you will ever cheat is because you feel that Brazilian goddess has what your significant other can't give you. Let me let you in on a secret. That goddess also has imperfections. You just haven't gotten really close to her. When you find that lady that pleases you and turns your heart around, the one thing you shouldn't do is cheat on her. It is the major destructor of trust. A relationship shattered by promiscuity is almost impossible to revive. And when you do cheat, you learn the secret most men learn the hard way. That whatever you enjoyed doing wrong could be given to you by your girl. To keep a woman requires faithfulness, and if you persist on that path, it'll maintain your relationship. Let her have her space. I knew a guy who approached a girl he had been crushing on since high school, and she said yes. He had asked her out before in college, but she had turned him down. So going again was just a shot in the dark. But it did come up with a surprise. He couldn't believe it. For the whole next month, he was inseparable from her. Any time I called Kevin, he was with his high school crush. And just 2 months into the relationship, she broke up with him. He kept trying to understand why, but the truth was he had lost his uniqueness, and she was no longer interested. Whether you like it or not, you've got to understand that having your space is as important as your sanity. It is what makes you unique, and it is in this space that we can think clearly. Ladies love a little bit of space. I understand you love that chick, but you don't have to overwhelm her to prove it. When she tells you to get a life, it's because that she is the only world that you have. And that is just not good. To keep and maintain a good relationship with your lady, you have to do something of your own. Start a project, a business, or even a YouTube channel. The two of you should be interdependent, but not independent. Alpha males will understand what I'm talking about. Patience and long-suffering. It is time for me to preach a little to you students of the game. You've got to get your patience and long-suffering up. If you like it or not, that perfect-looking angel that seems impeccable at the moment will do something to offend you. I don't know how much to emphasize this point, and you've got to understand that we all get offended, alpha or beta males. Sometimes you might be prompted to lash out at her for not doing something the way you want, but I implore you to apply long-suffering. You've got your flaws, and the reason that she's still with you is because she doesn't criticize you for it. She knows that you would change. She is patient, letting time do its work while taking in your mistakes. Do to others what you'll have them do to you. I implore you to be patient. Take in your girl's mistake and be hopeful that she'll change. That's a significant factor in enjoying a long-lasting relationship. Forgiveness. You might be asking the difference between applying long-suffering and forgiveness. The 2 points are very different. Long-suffering has to do with something that falls short of your expectations. It might not be wrong, but it doesn't quite meet your standard. But forgiveness should be applied when your girl actually does something wrong by all standards. An excellent example of a scenario where you must be the bigger one and forgive is when she lies to you. Now, we are all prompted to lie every now and then, and she's not an exception. When that angel of yours passes off some lousy dark energy lying to your face, you should forgive if you want that relationship to continue smoothly. Your girl's error or fault might not be lying, but you should be willing to be selfless and forgive. Passion in the bedroom. All the points above have nothing to do with the other room, pun intended. But for your relationship to be successful, this factor has to be dealt with appropriately. Passionate sex doesn't end with you enjoying it. Your angel has to as well. Sex takes two to tango, and if it's gonna be done right, you both gotta like it. So, many ladies comment like, he's charming, kind, and a very nice guy. He just doesn't satisfy me. I've heard comments like, if he has money, nothing else matters. But so many ladies have been caught cheating on their wealthy husbands. Satisfying your lady takes time and understanding, and you have to be willing to tread that path. While at it, sex. Communicate with her, and trust me, you will have that lady stay with you for the rest of your life. These points are streamlined, and if you do them right, you will have your woman stick to you. I'm not promising you a smooth ride, but in all the bumpiness, you will scale through. Click on the following video to see the package that we have prepared for you. Yay. Goodbye.